warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. As you can see in this video, we will bring you to experience a new way and give you an interesting knowledge or information about our project that is not quite familiar in our society. It is basically about a new way in reducing waste, which is upcycling, an underrated way of preservation. The reason why we choose to put our focus on this project is because we want to help in developing an idea to reduce waste in order to achieve the sustainable development goals, which we focus on goals number 12. These goals is about the responsible consumption and production, which we look at the target to reduce the waste through recycle, reuse and reduction, and also to make people aware on these matters in order for them to live a better lifestyle by 2030. The another reason why we put our focus on this project is because in Malaysia, recycling itself does not give any impact or does not give a big impact, and also can be said that most Malaysians does not give their attention to reduce waste as refers to the Department of Statistics Malaysia regarding to the matter of recycle rate. We can also see the effect of not recycling, as we can see in the rivers in Malaysia, which are full of rubbish, which later lead to the clogging up the river and create other problems. It is such a shame to put the blame on someone else or to keep on pointing fingers towards each other, because we ourselves does not give our attention, does not make any effort in order to solve this problem. Therefore, our group has made up our mind to make a move and propose upcycling as an efficient way which may attract the society to reduce waste. So most people does not aware of the existence of upcycling. So basically, what is upcycling? Upcycling is an interesting way to turn a waste to something that is useful for us. For example, we can use leftover wrapping papers that we have used to wrap a gift. We can turn it into a bookmarks, or maybe we can use an old and broken guitar to make it as a book rack by adding some other materials to make it isolating. Coming back to our project, so what is the aim or the objective of this project? So first, we want to identify whether our society are more interested in upcycling or recycling. This is because we put our focus on the society. Therefore, their interests is important for us to know in order to make this project successful. The second one is about this is our time to introduce upcycling as a new way for people to reduce waste by making something useful for them to use in their life. Lastly, the most important one is we want to give up our opinion and recommend an effective way to create awareness on upcycling so that the people will gain more knowledge or more information about the positive side of upcycling. This project will bring more benefits, will bring so many advantages to the society and also to our environment, as it can help people to keep on live in a healthy and a better lifestyle.
What is the significance of upcycling? Upcycling reduces waste better than recycling process because it does not create new waste, as the recycling process require the destruction of the waste in order to create something new, while upcycling takes the waste and change them into something new from its original state. Upcycling also a better way to reduce waste and to get involved in maintaining the environment by using one creativity idea and skills. It also adds additional value to individual to be creative in solving problem, as it requires a creative idea to change the available waste or the available item into something new, and it also requires a variety of technique and skills in order to make new thing with different function from the original state. Aside from that, upcycling is more friendlier and it causes less pollution to the earth. Upcycling helps to reduce the amount of the waste that goes to the landfill, which later on will causes pollution. When the waste is improperly disposed of, it will lead to the increasing of the landfill, and together with the solid waste pollution and water pollution. It is more friendlier to use the reusable waste and material until it no longer serves its purpose, rather than to throw them into the landfill. Although upcycling may not be able to clear all the landfill, it certainly can help to reduce the amount of the waste that be thrown away in the landfill. And it is one of the way to help in sustaining the environment.
Despite the benefits of upcycling, there are some challenges that are considered in doing this project. Firstly, the challenges is most people are not aware about upcycling.
Upcycling is not quite familiar in Malaysia, therefore most people are not aware and do not have knowledge or information of this way of preserving the environment. According to the Solid Waste Management and Public Cleansing Corporation, only 17.5% of people in the country have the knowledge and understanding of the concept of upcycling.
This proves that the level of understanding about upcycling practices among people is still low. Second, upcycling is a time-consuming activity.
Upcycling involves adding value to something that would otherwise have been thrown away, recycled, lost in storage, or abandoned. In order to make something into a new product, it includes the process of redesign thinking, ideation, and reconstruction. The process of redesigning is time-consuming since it requires an extensive amount of time to find the appropriate modification of particular material.
Most people think that it is easier for them to just buy a new product with the same function rather than doing upcycling. Next, recycling is common practice in Malaysia compared to upcycling.
Recycle is one of the most familiar terms we come across everywhere we go. Meanwhile, upcycling is uncommon terms and practice, especially in Malaysia.
There are not many exposed campaigns or programs about upcycling practices in Malaysia.
Now have we discussed the significance and the challenges that make it so hard for upcycling to be in the main conversation. Now we see why it is so hard to get into that conversation. So now I will explain what can we do, what are the recommended things to do in order to make it accessible to everyone and make it a more common practice for everyone. So one of the ways we can bring upcycling to the more bigger picture is through government initiatives in collaboration with fashion and art, because let's face it, that is the most practical sector and maybe the best sector to actually showcase how good upcycling actually is, because it requires creative minds, and I think that is pretty much the case for them. What I also understand is that it also promotes an economic diversification, where it provides opportunities for job growth, opportunities for instance, sustainable customers' behavior, where they buy things that are more sustainable to nature, and promotes, for instance, small businesses, where the cost will be a bit high, but they know that it will be more sustainable for the future, and they can market that as a particular matter, where it will be understood as something that can be used in the long run, not always something that is going to be wasted. So the next part is what we've received from our survey is that a lot of people agree that around 49 people out of the 131 people we surveyed, a lot of people agree that the most fundamental thing to do is instill it in school education. Teach it in the kids when they are young, because that's the best time for them to understand new things and for them to practice and make it a habit. For instance, in school, we understand that recycling has been talked about a lot. It's been even inserted in certain subjects such as pendidikan civic and kewarganegaraan. So why not instill that also in the particular subject, where it teaches kids to realize that certain things are not always trash, certain things can be converted. By instilling a good framework by a government or certain NGOs for purposes of clubs or societies in school, it can be understood that these people could actually find it interesting, because that may be the main problem for them, the lack of appeal in education, of course, where education might be the best way to show appeal, and also the best way for them to understand how it is practical and how it is better for the environment. We could say that certain awareness campaigns would be easy, it would be sufficient enough, but let's face it, these campaigns are actually not targeted at a certain demographic. It's targeted to everyone, hence it has a lack of focus of where, for instance, how people should do it at home or how people should do it at school. So in schools, they can teach it based on activities that are focused to a certain part of students, certain demographic, where it is more focused and of course more efficient and more effective. So in conclusion to this whole project that we've done, it can be seen that upcycling, even though how much of a maybe people perceive as maybe time consuming it is, it gives something that reduces pollution in a way that we make use of things that should have gone to landfills, should have been incinerated and maybe contributed to pollution, but no, this way we can use it in our daily lives once again and extend it. Like my previous groupmate said, landfills will never be empty, it will just be reduced. And so that is an effort that we can actually understand. And upcycling is not an idea that should be alien to us, and further improves how our creative thinking works, and also gives way to certain people to improve how they are economically by selling products, for instance small businesses I said earlier, and to provide a better framework for governments to promote environmental issues and solve them through certain initiatives such as upcycling. So yeah, based on these particular reasons, explanations by my friends, this is why we think upcycling is a very underrated way of preservation. Hope you have a nice day. Thank you.